This is for all my queens and all my kings in Kingston, raising a baby in Babylon. If all of the sisters could fight for the brothers instead of fighting over the brothers, and all of the brothers could try to love their own instead of trying to own love, then maybe we could fight like X did instead of fighting our exes. And maybe if for a minute we stopped hating each other, we could do like Haiti and free each other. And ladies, ask Harriet Tubman what it should mean to railroad each other instead of selling each other out. We saw the soul in each other. And brothers, we need to stop pimping black women like we learned from Massa and be more like Selassie instead of selling asses. We used to go broke to go to school. Now we'd rather go broke than go to school. We were out in the hot fields dying to be cool. Now we're out in the streets dying to be cool, so we spend our last cent on those sweatshop shoes. We take our government check, but we don't check our government. We'll vote for American Idol, but not the president. So while our brothers sit idle and sing, we don't care if our idols can sing. And because we were sold to make sugar in Barbados and Bahamas, now we talk about getting those sugar daddies and sugar mamas. And when we talk about dead presidents, we mean cash and not Obama. We're all up in each other's business, but we can't get up in each other's businesses, and then we wonder why we still don't own shit. Instead of building like Egypt, we try to gyp each other, and we'll rip each other off before we tip each other, and then we say, don't trip, brother. So we give each other props for still being property, and we fill our heads with hip-hop, but never with philosophy, and we buy anything unnecessary instead of by any means necessary. Black men call their home their crib, like they're so busy being children they can't raise their kids, and they call their woman their baby mama, but never give her that ring. We used to have to run away from the dogs so we could get married. Now we run away to be dogs instead of being called daddy. And because we used to feel the crack of the whip, now we sell crack to buy new whips. And instead of getting that diploma, we'd rather dip. So instead of working in that office and wearing a white collar, we get collared by white offices just to make that dollar. We want to play above the rim so we can buy new rims instead of taking engineering and building that pyramid. We know everything about Judge Mathis and nothing about what math is. We're so used to being money, we've forgotten what cash is, and we can make that bank shot, but we don't know where the bank is. Because we're told we can play in the NBA, but we can't be an MBA, and we can be an MC, but not an MD or an MA, and we don't talk about racism, we just talk about player hating. We dream about going to Liberia, but we can't go to the library, so we're at our rights when we're sentenced instead of writing that sentence. We come from people who wrote the book of the dead. Now we either end up booked or dead. And maybe if we hung by our necks like our grandparents did, we wouldn't talk so hard about choking a bitch. And if we ever had to cut a lynching victim down, we'd think twice before we cut each other down to size, and maybe that's why we call each other shorty. We talk about shooting each other with 9s and 45s, but we don't talk about working that 9 to 5. I guess we spent so long on the auction block, now we'd rather die than get off the block. So we end up on a chain gang in that jail, because when we join that gang, we can buy that chain, so we kill each other over shorting that weight, just like Massa did when he put cotton on the scale. Ask a slave to show you a hoe. Do you think he'd point at his sister in the next cotton row, or the tool in his hand used to make the cotton grow? And when he sees the overseer coming, ask him what it means to get low. Ask him to point out free black people. I bet he'd never say BET. And brother, I don't think he'd say you. And sister, I don't think he'd say me.